Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the TRX. Now the TRX is something I use a lot with my clients at home during their workouts, and there's a lot of intangible factors that they tend to misplace or get wrong. So today we're going to talk about those and how to maximize your results and get the most efficient workout you can with the TRX. So let's get started. Okay, so that first factor that I want to talk to you about today is getting in and out of the TRX. So what you see most people do is they'll get into the TRX, and we use a row for this particular exercise. They'll get into position here, and then they'll lean back, and then go through their movement. And that's exactly what you don't want to do. The proper way to do this, stay extended at the beginning of the movement, and then walk yourself in, go through the exercise, and then walk yourself out. Now again, the second way I did that is going to be much easier on the joints, and it's also going to allow you to gauge the degree of difficulty as you're walking down into the TRX, so you know you're standing at the proper distance. So let's take a look at that next factor. Next factor we're going to talk about, very important, and that's going to be foot position. Now the foot positioning, there's three basic ones I'm going to be talking to you about. Heel on the ground, heels off the ground, and offset. Now all of these different factors will allow you to create a different level of difficulty within the particular exercises. So let's take a look at those. Okay, so the first of those three foot positions I want to talk about is if you were to do an exercise while you were leaning back or facing the door, facing where the TRX is hung up. So what you do is you will set up in position. So the first way to do this is if you were to have your ankles as the access point. So this time your feet will be flat on the floor, and I'll be going through a row exercise, and as you go through that movement, your access point is actually your ankles, and your flat foot provides a lot of stability. Now something I like to do to increase the difficulty is to change and dig your heel into the floor, and now your access point is where your foot comes in contact with the floor. You're going through that same movement. Again, this increases the difficulty level just a little bit. So the second foot placement we'll talk about is when you're doing an exercise when you're leaning forward, okay? So I'm gonna set myself up in the chest press position. Okay, so we set ourselves back into the movement. We're gonna keep the heels off the ground. All of this for all of the front facing exercises. Then I go through my exercise. Now my access point is the balls of my feet. Again, you don't want to overemphasize this or really flex the calves while you're going through the movement. Just keep them nice and relaxed. Put all of your weight on the TRX, heels off the ground, and go through that movement smoothly. Okay? And the third foot placement we're going to talk about is when you're leaning back against the TRX, and this is the offset foot position. Now this is usually done for an exercise, say for example, the Y-fly. So we'll set ourselves up. Okay, so we judge our distance, we set ourselves up. Now what we'll do with this is we're gonna offset one foot here. So we've got heel off the ground on the back foot, and our front foot is flat. Now as we go through a particular exercise here, our weight will distribute to the back foot, and then come back up to the front foot as we're standing tall. There and there. So this is typically done to relieve the tension, and it actually makes the exercise a little bit easier. So for those exercises like for the shoulders, your Y-fly, your T-fly, this will actually help keep the motion smooth while taking off that resistance. Okay, so the next factor we're going to talk about is proper weight percentage. Now, again, we're talking about feet placement and getting your degree of lean, so you're getting a challenging exercise, but you don't want to go too much. Shaking is going to be very bad. So what I mean with this one, here I'm going to be using a chest press to demonstrate this exercise. Okay, we're lining up here and here. okay, for your chest press. Now when you're coming down into it, you want a nice smooth movement down and back, here, here. Now again, when people get a lean that's too close to the door, what you may see is you start shaking. People are shaking like that on the way up. That's a little bit too much. The shaking is actually going to cause a lot of grinding on the joints, and that's not something that you want. So again, you can do the exercise, but what you want to do is you want to walk yourself away further from where either the door is hanging, if it's on a door or if it's on a parallel bar, just walk away from where that access is, and that'll make the degree of difficulty a little bit less. Again, very small movements make a very big difference. Okay, so the last factor we're going to talk about today in this video is going to be maintaining tension on the TRX. Now you want to make sure that you're maintaining the tension on the TRX during the eccentric movement of the exercise. So what I mean is we'll use a Y-fly exercise to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So what you see happen in this exercise is you typically see people during the eccentric movement, they take that tension off the TRX, or even at the start, and you've got a loose TRX here. Okay, when they start off, that movement will look really jerky, and they'll go through the positive part of the exercise and come back and here. And you really don't want that. Again, that's really not that good on the joints, and you're losing the juiciest part of the exercise because that eccentric contraction is really what creates the changes and keeps tension on the muscle group. So the proper way to do that is, again, we make sure that the TRX is tight. We set ourselves up in the position and we go through that eccentric contraction smooth and in control, and then come back up out of that. Here. And again, nice and smooth movement, keeping the tension always on the TRX and always on the muscles. And that's what's really going to create those changes and make the exercises that much more effective. Okay, so that does it for the intangibles of the TRX. I hope you did learn a lot today, and pay attention next time you're using your TRX and make sure you get a maximal workout. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.